Have you ever wondered how to run a sustainable e-commerce business? Have you ever tried dropshipping in the past before, took a leap of faith, got a few sales, only to find out that the business model is completely unsustainable because you have to worry about shipping times, poor communication with suppliers, and overall, it just doesn't seem like the amount of work is worth the low profit margins? If so, I totally understand because I have been in the same place as you. My name is Marcus Lamb and I help struggling dropshippers get out of the matrix using the power of high ticket dropshipping. I started off dropshipping doing the same traditional ways where we would find products from AliExpress, Facebook, TikTok, and we would sell them, and I actually found success and I got a few sales, but I came into a roadblock that many existing dropshippers could relate to, which is that, it's really hard to make the business model sustainable and make it a full-time income without having tons of capital to invest or finding a really good private vendor, or without worrying about other people trying to steal our winning product. There's just so many layers upon layers that you really have to think about. Is dropshipping the business model sustainable in 2024? So my goal in today's video is to show you guys why 99% of dropshippers end up failing, and it's not their fault. It's because all these gurus out here are promoting a faulty business model. And I'm not out here to say that low ticket dropshipping doesn't work, but the truth of the matter is, if you're a newbie or you're someone that's new beginner into the online world of dropshipping, then you're gonna have to face through challenges of copywriting, customer psychology, team management, operations, because dropshipping is a business. Many people come into dropshipping thinking that it is a get rich quick scheme that you're gonna make $1 million overnight, but the truth is there's a lot of logistics and thought that has to go into your business before you see prime success. And a lot of people unfortunately get weeded out from the week because they don't understand the proper fundamentals of a legitimate business, which is why in today's video my goal is to help you guys walk away having the knowledge of understanding why 99% of dropshippers fail, but more importantly, just understand the foundations of running a e-commerce business, specifically with the dropship business model. And yes guys, this does work in 2024 and onwards. It's going to be working through the test of time because we haven't tapped into $1 billion retailer model that big brand names like Home Depot, Wayfair, and Lowe's use to dropship their products in 2024. So stick to the end of this video to understand exactly all of how this matrix works. So there are 4 key pillars that makes a dropshipping business sustainable. Number 1, you need to have a good winning product. Now I know that term gets just thrown, make you win. So you do need a winning product, and that product or your niche has to be in an evergreen landscape. What that basically means is you have to ask yourself this honest question about your biz or whatever you're selling, is that during times of economic recessions or economic downturns, when the economy is not doing so well, what type of market would still buy from me? Would people still buy my product if times are tough, if they cannot afford their rent, if they cannot afford food and they're living paycheck to paycheck? What can I honestly sell that people would buy during times of economic downturns, of economic crises? So, ladies and gentlemen, you really have to think about that. And you guys might be wondering, Marcus, if you phrase it like that, that almost seems impossible. No, that is the wrong way you should look at it, because it's definitely possible. Rich people are going to be the ones that are going to be spending money during times of economic crises. Like, they're still going to be spending money. Or professional athletes, people that want to pursue their dreams, people that want to pursue their sports career are going to buy sports equipment to help them throw a baseball or practice some tennis or shoot a basketball. They're going to invest into this, and if they're not going to invest, they're going to have an education system or an organization that's going to invest into the players. So you just have to think of these types of frameworks when choosing that winning product or your evergreen niche. Number 2, you need a source of traffic that will bring in consistent lead flow. What that basically means is you need a way to advertise to customers, whether that is on Instagram, whether that is on TikTok, Facebook, Google. You need a way to get eyeballs to come to your website, because once you know what you're selling, once you have a product, the next problem that most dropshippers face is ads. Most people are taught to run TikTok or Facebook ads or use TikTok Shop. At essence, it is just ways to get traffic, ways to get eyeballs to whatever you're selling. So first, you need to have a good product, or you're in a market that people are going to buy. Then you have to find a way to put whatever you're selling to the eyeballs of that market. And so once you have a consistent form of traffic, you will also need a good supplier. A good supplier consists of good profit margins, fast shipping time, and overall just good communication with you as the dropshippers. When you guys make sales, do not be fooled by just Shopify numbers. When it comes to the actual profit margins and the sustainability of the business, you have to take into account undoubtedly the supplier in the equation. If you have a bad supplier, you are setting yourself up for failure. So I highly do not recommend that if you want to build a sustainable dropship business. Number 4, you need good and positive customer support for your customers. Once you have established a product and a market that you want to go into, once you have established a way to put your eyeballs to that market, once you have established the back end of the logistics so that when you do get a customer, you have a good supplier and good logistic foundations, the last thing that you need to put the pieces together in the puzzle is good customer support. You need a system, you need a way to make sure that every customer that you spend your hard-earned money on, because you're spending money to get those eyeballs, make sure those customers are taken care of. Many people don't capitalize enough to their customer base. They're so caught up in just getting eyeballs and getting attention that they forget or they neglect that the attention that they got need to be juiced, need to be shown good quality, good customer service. That's why it's very important that you have live chat or a 1-800 number to make sure that your customer support is as good as possible. My experience with dropshipping and what led me to the conclusion of this is what builds a sustainable dropship model. First and foremost, I think I need to show you guys my results for my dropshipping business. I totally forgot to do that before. Just wanted to point out over the last 30 days, we did about $110,000 in revenue. If we go to last 7 days, we did $24,000, and just wanted to do some quick refreshes just so you guys see. And then if we were go to the last 365 days, the store did about almost 1,800,000, which is relatively sweet because you see that we only had 300 orders to accommodate for almost $1 million in revenue. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of dropshipping gurus, a lot of the ones you guys see on the YouTube space, cannot even handle this level of sales because you're gonna have so many orders backed up. And that's the same problem that I was facing when I was scaling my low ticket dropshipping stores. When I first started off dropshipping, all I cared about was sales. All I cared about was winning product. All I cared about was my winning ad, until I actually found, or I pieced together a way to consistently get sales for my low ticket store. Until then, when I got high on my supply, when I didn't have the foundations of a sustainable dropship business, only to find myself in huge amounts of debt. So pretty much I scaled this winning product to like $2 million, and I thought I was just killing it. I'm young, I just got out of college, I'm making money, I'm about to be lit, right? Like, I'm chilling. Until the emails started blowing up, the chargebacks started coming, the returns. It was just because I didn't understand how a business is supposed to operate, how you need to have a team in place, operations, procedures, finances, P&Ls, and there's just so much of these that you need to learn as you go. And for someone that's new to business, that really just had the education of college to teach me business, I didn't have any experience managing it. But the cool thing is, as I fell, I climbed up, and I realized that the high ticket dropship business model is a perfect business model for a beginner to learn, because you don't have to invest huge amounts of capital because you're still dropshipping and you don't own the physical product, but you also learn how to manage a team, because you might have to build a team, or you might have to take in some customer service calls. Like, you learn customer service, you learn team operations, you learn how to talk and network with suppliers so that you build good networking relationships for your business, and you learn all of that with minimal capital to start with. And I love it. Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with the opportunity to learn high ticket dropshipping. When I first started, I was learning low ticket, and I scaled the product yay high. I invested years, guys, into dropshipping, only to find myself in a deeper hole. So I don't want you guys going into a deeper hole. So if you guys are doing low ticket dropshipping, keep in mind, I'm not trying to say that it doesn't work completely. I'm sure it works for like 1% of people, but remember, at the core of a dropship business, what you need is a good product, so evergreen market, so that's obvious to get sales. The next thing is a way to consistently get traffic, not just depending on a viral video, because viral in its own definition is not consistent. Viral means sporadic. Consistent means longevity. So you need something that's consistent, a traffic source that is consistent. You need a good supplier relationship, which when I think about it in retrospect, I was making over $2 million in sales, so that was like over 100,000 orders, right? And I was sourcing from a China supplier, and I never even met them or really talked to them on Facebook FaceTime. I was just messaging them. Stupid. Like, relying on them only to find myself in a deeper hole when they wouldn't respond or the tracking numbers weren't working. And I was just like, what do I do? Because I now built this beast that I cannot even control. The fires are just going out. And that's how I ended up in this huge debt that I almost went bankrupt for. So if you guys don't want to go bankrupt, make sure you like for this, because I wish somebody had just told me this stuff when I first started. Anyways, high ticket dropshipping is the business model that honestly changed my life. It has changed my students, and it got me back from that deep mess I put myself into. How did it get me back? Because when you dropship a high ticket product, the best part is that instead of making a $30 profit margin, you can make a $2,000 or $3,000 profit margin for one sale. Now, with numbers like these, it makes coming back a lot more attainable, and it wasn't as dark. There just seemed to be a little light in the tunnel. So I spent a few years to master high ticket dropshipping. Of course, I had some prior experience with dropshipping itself, so it helped me, but I still had a learning curve with high ticket to just understand the frameworks. And I guess that's what's molded me into the person and the business owner that I am today, to be able to share with you guys from my experience. This is what makes a sustainable business model. This is what I found that works for me, and that's how I'm able to make my sources of income through high ticket dropshipping. And I'll explain to you these core 4 pillars one more time, and pretty much why I think that high ticket dropshipping is the business model that is going to help you be sustainable with dropshipping in 2024. So what I learned from doing $2 million in sales with a low ticket dropshipping store is, number one, customer support is crucial for your business. Again, I told you guys about this earlier into the video, but I'm gonna say it one more time. For you to build something that is gonna give you consistent money coming in, you're gonna have to make sure that the customers that are giving you their money are taken care of. And remember, we have to figure out what money is in the first place. When you make money, people think of just printing money like it's a printing machine and it just prints out, although it may be printed, I don't know. But my point is, with money comes sacrifice, because people are investing their time and energy to work for that money. And for you to take away a sense or a little bit of their livelihood, you have to make sure that that damn product or whatever you're selling is worth it. Therefore, when you get one customer, really take into account, like, they're paying their hard-earned money to invest into you, your product, your business, so that you could give them the best experience possible. When you first start off in online business, obviously that one flies over your head, but I can't stress that enough. That's like the first thing that came to my head when I was just telling you guys like my experience. Like, what do I wish I knew is just like, take care of your customers more, like actually value them, because if you take care of one, you could take care of hundreds, you could take care of thousands. And that is the best way to run a business, because there's going to be word of mouth marketing. There's going to be people talking about your product to their friends, to their families, and that's going to give you a positive momentum to continue having your business foster into wealth. Next thing, the product needs to be amazing. Before the customer support, even though I do emphasize the customer support, you still need a good product at the end of the day, because you won't have customers if you don't have a good product. Shout out to Alex Hormozy, because he emphasizes this so good. Like, $100 million offers, the best takeaway you can get is you have to learn how to sell something that almost feels stupid saying no. So that means your product has to be the best it could possibly be. And that's very hard, especially when you're dropshipping from random manufacturers, random suppliers from China, sourcing through AliExpress or Alibaba. You're gonna have a very difficult time to find product quality. So that is also one big challenge of itself. It was like, oh, I'm sourcing through products and these products might get sales, but when the customer gets it, is the packaging like half damaged? Like, how does the packaging work? So you have to think about it like that, and that's why high ticket dropshipping, because your products are more expensive, there's a higher perceived value, and the suppliers that you work with, they're already established. People are already wanting to buy from them. We're just acting as a reseller, a authorized dealer for them. So in terms of the dropshipping business models, that's why I went with high ticket, because the product itself is the most important thing. And so why bother with a China product that's low quality when I could get a product that's more expensive, higher quality, the shipping time's faster, and I make more profit margins? It's like a win-win. So that's really why I went with high ticket dropshipping for in terms of product. Now, some of the best practices you could use to find the best winning products for a high ticket niche is, number one, by using Google Trends. So Google Trends will give you an idea of the trends of your product, the seasonality. So for example, electric fireplaces, you might see a higher search volume during the winter time, and grills, you might see a higher search volume during the spring and summertime. Seasonality plays a huge role into the purchasing power of the product. So just keep that in mind. Number two, Google Keyword Planner. The Google Keyword Planner is a free keyword tool that Google gives to us as advertisers to make educated decisions. So you could use the Google Keyword Planner to find the right keywords to understand how much people are actually searching for a particular product. And number 3, you want to use SEMrush or Ahrefs. These are all just tools and ways for you to look at the data and to verify whether or not this hunch or this idea that you might have when you're going through Costco and you see them selling a golf simulator. How do I check if this is a good idea? You use Google Trends, Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, Ahrefs to verify your intuition. Now, after product, what you need is a way to consistently get eyeballs to your store. A lot of you guys don't know, but 100 years ago, the way to get rich, the way to get wealthy was by the transactions of oil. So back then, if you want to get super rich, super wealthy, you would monetize on oil. What is today's oil? Today's oil is attention. So if you know how to garner attention, you're gonna make a lot of money, whether that's an influencer, whether that is Andrew Tate. Anybody that knows how to garner mass attention is where the money goes. So the question is, how do we put our website, our business, our dropshipping business into the eyeballs of someone that wants to buy the product that we're selling? Well, number 1, if you're working with a legitimate brand already, which is what you do with high ticket dropshipping, you partner up with suppliers that already exist, like Samsung or LG. They already exist and people know about them, and you just act as a dealer, act as a reseller. So a good concept that you could relate to is when you shop for a car. I don't know if you bought a car yet, but you don't buy the car from the Mercedes manufacturer. You buy the car from the dealer of the Mercedes manufacturer. You buy from someone that's going to transaction from you and the car, and that's the dealer, and that's us as a dropshipper. And that's the concept that you have to use and understand. Now, in terms of consistent traffic flow, you have to find a way to get consistent eyeballs to someone that's going to buy from you. And what better way to find people to buy from you when you just work with brands that people are already searching for? And the only way you could do that is through high ticket dropshipping. Now, the question is still though, how do we get people to buy such a product from us, even if we're reselling from that authorized brand, from that high ticket dropshipping brand? The answer to that is Google. That's what I use as my traffic source. That's my primary traffic source, followed by Bing. Then we have Pinterest. Then we go into Facebook, TikTok, and all the video stuff. So when it comes to which platform is best to use for a dropshipping store, it all comes down to the customer psychology of your avatar. Whoever you're trying to talk to, whoever you're trying to speak to, you have to think about where their head is at when they're scrolling through platforms. When they're on TikTok, they're in lizard brain mode. They just want to be entertained. When they're on LinkedIn, they need professionalism. When they are on Google, they are searching for the product that I'm selling. If someone is on Google and they search the word balloon and I show up with a balloon, I have the highest purchase intent for someone that is searching up for balloon. I mean, maybe they could search it because they want to draw a balloon, but let's say they're searching up buy Samsung TV. If someone searches buy Samsung TV and I show up with a Samsung TV, well then, the click that I get from Google is going to be the highest purchase intent. And that's how I'm able to get my traffic source, because if someone searches a product on Google and I show up with that product that they're looking for and I give good customer support, which is the original first pillar that I told you about. And what does that mean? It means having a live chat and having a 1-800 number to take in phone calls. Well then, now I have, again, 3 of the 4 pillars that I just told you about when it comes to building a sustainable dropship business. Now, if you guys are interested in learning more on Google Ads, I have a full guide on Google Shopping, Google Search inside my YouTube channel. Just check out my videos like that. And the last thing you need, the last pillar of building the sustainable dropship business, is having good profit margins. And that is, again, why high ticket is way superior than low ticket. When I make one sale, my minimum profit margin is at least $500 minimum, or I'm not happy with it, honestly. Most dropshippers would settle for a $5 profit, honestly, from like a rose bear or a moon lamp. Shout out to all of that, because I actually, fun fact, I used to sell these. I'm not even joking. This was one of the products that actually made me some money. This product actually made me a few money. Oh, this too, don't forget. This, I actually like this. This was cool too, and I'm just using it for myself. You guys have to think, like, when you guys are spending your hard-earned time, money, and everything into building your business, it has to have some form of leverage. It has to be worth it. And for the longest time, I was working so hard, serving like 100,000 customers to make $2 million in sales, sending out those tracking numbers, shipping it out from UPS, FedEx, buying it from my supplier, having him ship it out. It was just so much of work that I didn't have to do had I just sold high ticket products, because high ticket products, number one, again, I don't have to invest my capital. I have to see the inventory. I could if I really wanted to, and that's probably the next level of where I want to go to in the future, but I don't need to see any of that. And the best part is the margins are amazing, right? My profit margins are at least $500 for one sale. If I make a $5,000 sale on one of my high ticket products with 20% profit margin, that is $1,000 in take home profit for just one sale. That $1,000 can be used for my ads, that could be used for my team expense, that could be used for my operations, whatever I need to keep the business running. And the best part is, if I could bank in like 3, 4, 5 customers a month, well, I just made a whole entire paycheck. And it's absolutely possible, guys. This is what everybody right now in the high ticket dropshipping space is doing, and you're not. But it's completely okay, because if you're watching this video right now, if you're on the Lamb Fam channel, then you guys have found the secret sauce. Just make sure you guys share this knowledge with your friends. Okay, so that is it for today's video, guys. Just to recap, the 4 foundational pillars that you need to run a sustainable dropship business in 2024 and onwards is going to be amazing, superior customer support, a good winning product or a evergreen niche that you can sell to people during times of economic crises. Number 3, good relationship with your supplier. Having a good solid connection with your supplier is super important. Number 4, a consistent lead flow of traffic, whether that is TikTok, Facebook, I use Google. And number 5, amazing profit margin. Now keep in mind, guys, these are just some of the foundations that I found work best for me. I realized that when things weren't going the best, all I had to do was focus on those pillars, and every one of those pillars built out and branched out into something else that I could possibly do to continue moving the business forward. Remember, guys, the time that you have is very limited. That is your biggest asset. So that time that you are investing into your business has to be something worthwhile. And that's why I make these videos, because a lot of you guys invest your hard-earned time, your money into a program or a course that is teaching you a business model that is not going to really let you see the success that you are looking for, because that model is really hard for someone that's new to dropshipping. It took me over 5 years to understand dropshipping like that, and I can't imagine someone that has bills to pay, responsibilities, investing the little time that they have into something that is really hard to move forward. It's just such a huge boulder, and my goal in this channel is to be that big brother guy to help you guys move that boulder, but through a new lens, new perspective, aka high ticket dropshipping. So if you guys want to learn more about high ticket dropshipping, I have an entirely free course on my YouTube channel. It's over 6 hours for you to check out. I also have a one-on-one coaching mentorship program to help anybody that is struggling with dropshipping or a beginner to get to $10,000 a month profit in 24 weeks or your money back. So if you're interested in that, check out the application to see if you're a good fit for the community. And with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for your time. Until next time, Lamb Fam, peace and love.